Hello and welcome to another episode of the Waterside. Today, I'm going to have a little stank around Penzance to take a look at some buildings that won't be around for too much longer. So let's go check it out. Not a very nice day. A little bit grey, cold. Tis what it is. January weather. Adventuring through the underbelly of Penzance. Where will we end up? Oh, it was a boat. Right, made it to the very front of West Cornwall Hospital here in Penzance. St Clair Street runs down there. These, due to be demoed, got rid of forever. Because what's happening basically is that the West Cornwall Hospital is getting a new outpatient department. And these buildings here are owned by the Royal Cornwall's Hospital Trust. And they're in a bit of a state. They used to rent them out. They used to rent them out to members of staff and whatnot, but they've been derelict now for a number of years. I think there's 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are scheduled to be demoed very soon. As we're recording of this, it is Friday the 12th of January. I think these are going to start to be pulled down on Monday. So literally these are here for only a few more days and then they'll be gone forever. So basically the next few months, next couple of years even, this car park is going to be taken out of action because it's obviously going to be used to for the builders so that they can demo this site. And where those houses are currently, and like coming out to this area, is going to be the brand new outpatients department, which is going to be really good for the community. The old outpatients department does need a bit of an upgrade, so that'll be really good for the community to see a new addition here to West Cornwall Hospital. Hopefully the neighbours like straight opposite won't be too miffed that they're going to have a huge like block shaped building right in front of them. But yeah, these houses, they stood here for a long time. They've been here a long time. There used to be another row that extended down there, but when the front half of West Cornwall was built back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was that row was all demolished basically to make room for the car park. So it's now the turn of these. But yeah, you can see that they're falling to bits basically. All the windows are boarded up. There's a danger keep out sign there. And that's it. The end is nigh for these 4 homes. And I just wanted to pop by and kind of just document them really, because there's going to be plenty of photographs of them around and whatnot, but once they're gone, they're gone. Yeah, there it is, due to be demoed very soon. There's obviously the front of West Cornwall Hospital, some of the wards. There's just the side angle there of that row of houses. I'm not obviously going to focus too heavily on the hospital itself because I don't want any sort of patients or visitors or anything in frame. But yeah, there we have it. So good news for Penzance. I think, it does, like I said, it needs an upgrade to its outpatients department here, and actually the investment then is a good, strong sign that West Cornwall Hospital is, being invested in by the Trust. So that can only be a good thing. I doubt it will take very long for these to be pulled down. Look at the state of the roof up there. They have been in disarray now for quite some time, so yeah. I've just walked around the perimeter of the hospital, and this is the current outpatients building, or at least the ground floor is the current outpatients building. And this is what is due to be replaced. I haven't heard anything about this being demolished. This is, I assume, probably some sort of listed building. It was originally built in the 1930s. And the hospital dates to 1905. But this add-on was originally built as a hostel, as a nurses' accommodation for the hospital. So the nurses and whatnot would stay in there, live in there, and then go down to work on the wards. That's a long time ago though. Nurses haven't lived in for, you know, quite some time. Although people can still rent some of the rooms. Some workers, if they are not local to the area, they can stay up there for, I assume, cheap accommodation. Unless the trust puts them up, I'm not sure. But so people do stay in there, but not like, you know, not like it used to be. Just going to cross the street a minute and get the other angle of the outpatients. Like I said, don't panic. This building isn't being demolished. It's just those 4 houses at the front of the hospital that are being demolished. So there is the outpatients department that is going to be replaced with a new build at the front. Like I said, it's not being demolished to my knowledge. I'm sure it will be repurposed somehow, but the outpatients department is going to be moved. And there's the very front. States up there. West Cornwall Infirmary. And then there's a date stamp, 1905. Yeah, good to see that Royal Cornwall Hospitals Trust is investing some money into West Cornwall. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to walk a few hundred yards down the road now to another building that is slated for demolition. If you've lived in Penzance for any length of time, you'll be aware of Fountain Court. Quite a large structure there. Not raised into the heights of a skyscraper, but certainly 6 or 7 stories. Now, a couple of years ago, this building, which was full of tenants, was found not to be fit for purpose. I assume there were some structural issues. I'm not 100% sure what the issues were, but basically it was deemed that this building could no longer be lived in, and all the residents, to my knowledge, were moved out, and this whole building is going to be demolished, according to my sources anyway. But I don't remember anything else here other than this. It used to, I mean, this whole area, all of these flats, used to be, up until the 1960s, it used to be like a nice terraced row of like Victorian cottages. I'm sure photos are available online, probably easily findable. But yeah, all this was basically built, you know, when those cottages, I don't know why they demolished the cottages. Perhaps they just needed to house more people, and this was thought to be the best way of doing it. But let's just step around the back of Fountain Court there. But yeah, I've known nothing else other than this building, so it's been here a long time. Just step over to this way, get another angle. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to demolish it. I don't know whether they're just going to sort of break it up bit by bit, or I would have thought it would be too dangerous to kind of implode it, so I have no idea how it's going to be demolished. Or when. I haven't got a time frame on that either, but I assume this year. I assume relatively soon it's going to be demoed. But again, if you know Penzance, I wouldn't say it was an iconic building. Definitely not an iconic building, but it's certainly been here a long time. And like I said, if you're a resident of Penzance, you'll certainly know Fountain Court. Yeah. So yeah, it's all like barred off. Well, not this. I mean, I could walk up to the walls, but it did clearly state that the property was being maintained by some sort of security company. They certainly don't want anybody in here. But yeah, to my knowledge, this is slated for demolition. If you know any more information on that, then let me know in the comments. Probably a little bit sad. People, like I said, they were people's homes. People did live in there. Yeah. Just back around the front, there's quite a nice little garden area, really. Presumably like a communal area where residents would come down and sit down. Fountain Court. Protected by safe site. All right. Soon to be history. Just passing by the Fountain Tavern. I'm going to head down towards the promenade and the harbour area now to get to my next destination. But obviously, talking about demolition, new stuff is being built as well. Right here at the top of Causeway Head, there is this new structure. Some people really embrace the idea of this being built. Some people were horrified and still are horrified that it's being built. But that's progress, baby. In fact, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure what it is supposed to be. I don't know if it's like some sort of art place, some sort of community place. I've no idea. But I don't know. We'll see. I might have to get a pasty soon. Makes me laugh. I haven't taken down the Christmas lights yet. Just heading down Chapel Street. I do like Chapel Street. Could be Union Hotel there. A lot of history in there. First word, or it was announced in that building back in 1805 that Nelson had won the Battle of Trafalgar. Imagine that. I don't know if it was announced here first or up at Madron Church. It might have gone straight to the church and then it was announced here publicly as well. I'm not sure, but it was certainly announced here in October or November or whenever it was. No, maybe very early 1806 by the time the fleet got back home. But anyway, whenever it was, the announcement was made from the Union Hotel that Battle of Trafalgar had been won. The old Regent, who remembers the Regent? Used to be the Meadery in there as well, didn't it? Let me know in the comments. Made it down to the promenade. Tide is out by the look of it. Nice calm day. A little bit breezy, but nothing too outrageous. But yeah, walked down to the prom because that building is due to go. So what states there, the Penzance Gallery used to be Vosper's Garage. I'm sure a lot of you will remember Vosper's Garage. Garage? I haven't had a coffee yet this morning, I need a coffee. Yeah, so lots of you will remember that as Vosper's Garage. They've been gone for, oh my goodness, a couple of decades probably, that building has not served that purpose. So I assume it was built as a garage. I'm not 100% sure on the time scale of when it was built. It's been, like I said, it's been there a long time. Again, I don't remember anything different being there other than the fact that it used to be the Ford garage, Vosper's Ford garage. Just walked a little bit closer to it, yeah, so nothing has been finalised yet from a planning point of view, but basically what used to be the Vosper's Garage, the Ford garage here, now states up there Penzance Gallery, is slated for demolition, and it's going to be replaced with a large building, I think. Now I have seen some plans, but they were a little while ago. But it'll be like a mixture of, there'll be some like commercial property in there, I think, and like apartments and whatnot. So yeah, so the old Vosper's Garage, Penzance Gallery there, as states, will be demoed at some point. And again, if you're familiar with this area, I'm here in St Anthony Gardens, right there opposite the bathing pool. You know, if you know Penzance, you'll know this building. Again, I won't use the word iconic. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an iconic building, but it's certainly been here a long time. Now, the redevelopment plans of this area include these beautiful gardens. Now, lots of people, I'm sure some people are just sitting on the fence, you know, what will be, what will be. Other people are up in arms that this area is going to be changed and altered. Some people are cool with it. I don't know, what do you think? There's been a little park here, gardens for a long time. I'm not 100% sure what they want to do with it, but it will be changed quite radically to my knowledge. I think that's a little bit sad. I don't know, I think it's quite a nice space in the summer. You can come and relax and whatnot. You've obviously got the bathing pool opposite and the promenade, and I think to see anything change too radically here isn't going to be good. There is word that there's going to be a wall, a large wall belonging to these gardens that's going to be demoed. I take that to perhaps be the back wall. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure, but some sort of large wall within these gardens is going to be removed. I mean, look at this old fountain. I mean, surely that's not going to be removed, is it? Who are these people that come up with these stupid ideas? You know, not being funny, but, you know, you have these big companies come in, they only want to make money. I don't know, what do you guys think? I hope that that's not removed, because that would be... I think that would be quite tragic if that's taken away. Climb up here on this bench. Yeah, there's that old garage. Again, if you know what that building was before it was Vosper's garage, the Ford garage, then let me know in the comments, because I can't think what that used to be before Vosper. Or to be honest, I don't remember anyway, so no point thinking, because I don't know. But yeah, I hope that this isn't removed. I mean, I think that would be really quite tragic. I mean, it does look quite old and significant, doesn't it? I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you in favour of St Anthony Gardens being redeveloped, or are you against it? I don't think too many people would be overly bothered about that structure. It's not a particularly, you know, it's not an attractive building as such, so I mean, I don't think people would be too worried for that to be demolished. But I expect some people will be quite upset about St Anthony Gardens being redeveloped. Get some lovely views here across the bay towards Newlyn. So yeah, I wanted to focus and point the camera at this area because again, we don't know how long it will be here for. Which is the point of this video, really. I just wanted to point the camera at some of these buildings that have been here a long time and they're slated for demolition. Kind of document them. Just in between that building that's slated to be demolished and that lovely building, you can see there the tower belonging to St Mary's Church. Now, if you know your history, your Penzance history that is, St Mary's Church was constructed in the 1830s, and it stands on the site of a demolished chapel, which was demolished in the 1830s to make way for the church. And I assume that's why Chapel Street is called Chapel Street, because it used to be a chapel there and not a church. Because people, you know, I mean, you kind of think, well, why isn't it called Church Street? But yeah, anyway, Chapel Street, where St Mary's Church is, used to stand a chapel, which I think dated from like the 1500s or something like that. It could have been older. It was certainly there for a long, long time. And I do always wonder, by these steps, I wonder if that's a little bit of like demoed material from the old chapel. This like ornate, I mean, this wouldn't have been built in that sort of shape just to purely make up the end portion of a wall. That must have come from a building. And I think that looks ornate enough to have come from an old chapel. What do you guys think? Again, don't quote me on that. I mean, that's something that I'm just conjuring up in my mind. But to me, that does look like it came maybe from the demolished chapel over there in Chapel Street. I might be completely wrong. If you know, again, as always, if you know what that is, let me know in the comments, because over here, there's another one. I wouldn't have thought it was built specifically or carved specifically like that for the wall. I wouldn't have thought so. To me, that does look like recovered material from a demolished building. But again, I don't know for sure, so I'm not an expert. So if you know, let me know. A closer look there at the gallery. Oh my goodness, there's a car coming towards me. Okay, we survived. We survived. But anyway, yeah, closer look there of the Penzance gallery as I'm just walking past. Obviously all boarded up at the front, so you can't get in. Yeah. don't know how much of a property we can see. Obviously all the property around the back is going to be demolished as well. I don't know what sort of angle I can get. So I just made it to this gate to the left hand side of the building, and you can kind of see there through those bars the side there of that building, along with this old section here. All this is all scheduled, I assume, as part of the demolition. That's all going to come down as well. Might be a nice calm day with a little bit of a breeze, but it's really cold. My hands are absolutely freezing. Right, so just walking around the block. That's Chapel Street up there, and I'm going to walk down here because make sure it's safe. Yes, because all of the buildings here, this is like the backside of that garage, the old garage that's going to be pulled down. So all of these buildings are going to be torn down as well as part of that demolition. Don't know what we're doing there, but obviously not demolition. So here where you've got the Sea Palace Chinese restaurant and the dock. Got the pub there, the dock, and the Dolphin. These buildings are also all, you know, as part of that demolition. They're all slated to go. Not these, not the restaurants and the pubs, but that section there. Oh look, actually look at these. Do you know what? I've never noticed that before. Check that out. It says Ford Sales Services, Parts, MOTs, blah blah blah. That's a bit of a relic, isn't it? States here, Vespers of Penzance. So there you go, that is all going to be demolished as well. Goodness, they're making a lot of noise. Right, I'm going to get a bit closer to the harbour now and show you a few more bits that are going to be demolished. So everyone in the local community is aware that the Waterside Meadery is slated for demolition, which is really, really sad. I'm quite gutted actually, because I really do enjoy a meadery in the Waterside. It's still open at the minute, but the Cornwall Council are no longer going to be, they're not going to basically renew the lease. That's the issue. So the business owners here, their lease isn't being extended after this current year. So I believe, as I understand it, the meadery will stay functioning for the rest of 2024, but at the end of 2024, November, December, something like that, it will actually then cease to be a business, and next year then presumably it will be demolished. I actually did do a video and covered this a few months ago. I'll try and find that and leave a link in the description. But yeah, quite sad. I do like a meadery, and the problem is meaderies are getting fewer, and what I really hope is, I don't know if there's any sort of campaign to try and pressure the council into keeping this place. Basically what's happening is all these sheds are going to be demolished. In fact, they started at the very far end. We'll get a closer look there in a minute. But all this is going to be demolished as well if the council gets their way. Basically what they want to do is to improve the harbour facilities here at Penzance, and basically just build brand new sheds and stuff like that. So I suppose, you know, for the harbour, perhaps, you know, progress, whatever. But I think as I don't know, I get a bit nostalgic about these things. I think I've had many evenings in the Waterside Meadery and I really enjoy it in there. So I think it would be quite a shame for the meadery to go. It's a pity that they can't maybe, I don't know, maybe they can look at the plans or something and try and retain this building and business and maybe just get rid of all that. I don't know. Apparently there is some sort of meeting coming up on Thursday the 18th, I want to say, over at the sailing club. So if you're interested in that, then do pop along, because there's going to be lots of things discussed regarding this development. I won't be able to go because I'll be at work, but if you're interested in what is happening, then I believe there is some sort of update in the sailing club. I believe on the 18th. I think, don't quote me on that, but I suppose it's, you know, you look it up online, I guess, so just double check. But yeah, so that, unless the council change course, the meadery here is scheduled to be demolished I would assume next year, as part of the redevelopment plans for Penzance Harbour. That's a shame. This one will bite a bit. This I don't think the community really want to see this go. States here road closed, so we can't. Well, I can because I'm on foot. But if you're in a car, you can't proceed down that way today or for a few hours or whatever. But yeah, these are all the sheds that are right beside the meadery. These are all slated for demolition. States here boat repairers and marine supplies. So again, I assume this will just all be upgraded to a better, more modern facility. And they have actually started the demolition at this end, so we'll go down and document that in a minute. I think best case scenario for the meadery back there is, you know, best case scenario is that it's allowed to stay. But I think the next best scenario is that if it has to be demolished, then hopefully they will open up a new waterside somewhere else. I don't know, that's what I would like to see. You know, because there's plenty of buildings, I'm sure, that could house a restaurant, you know, a meadery in Penzance. I think that would be the best solution. Right, and here we go. So I'm standing now at the far end of these sheds, and these have already obviously started to be pulled down. Big truck there. States here Padstow Sea Sand Company. I don't know what they're doing here. Obviously this road closure is, I assume, something to do with this. But basically, yeah, so they have started the demolition, and I would imagine that this will be taken down relatively quickly. I assume some reference to the Salonian? I know the gate is open, but I'm obviously not going to walk in the dry dock. So I'm just going to stand here, the old Salonian, talking about things being demolished. I don't know what will happen to the old Salonian 3, but it is being replaced with a new ship that will go across to the Isles of Scilly. So whether this will just be sold to another shipping company and go somewhere else in the world, or whether it will, I suppose, be sold for scrap, I've no idea. But yeah, the end is certainly nigh for the Salonian 3. Not going to be around for too much longer. Right, I hope that video was of interest. We're going to leave it there. My hands are absolutely freezing. I can barely operate the controls of my camera. Although I say camera, I'm actually filming this one off of my phone. I just basically wanted to document a few of those things, a few of these changes that are going to be made in Penzance. Again, if you know the area, you'll know all the buildings I've focused on today. And they do call it progress. What do you guys think? Are you happy with everything that's happening in Penzance right now? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, smash the bell. Check us out on all of our socials at The Brightside. So from us to you, cheers and gone. Soon to be a thing of history, erased from existence. Right, I need a pasty. I need to go and find a pasty.